AI is the word free will in the Bible. The word free will or free will does appear in the Bible, but almost exclusively in the context of offerings and sacrifices, rather than as a philosophical or theological term describing human choice. In the English Standard Version (ESV), the term appears about 17 times, and in the King James Version (KJV), it appears 17 times. 1. The biblical usage. Free will offerings. In the Old Testament, a free will offering, nedaber in Hebrew, was a sacrifice given to God voluntarily, above and beyond what was required by the law. Leviticus 22 verse 18. When any one of the house of Israel presents a burnt offering to the Lord, whether it be a vow offering or a free will offering. Ezra 7 verse 16. With the free will offerings of the people and the priests, made willingly for the house of their God that is in Jerusalem. Psalm 119 verse 108. Accept my free will offerings of praise, O Lord, and teach me your rules. 2. What about the concept of free will? While the specific noun free will isn't used to describe the human faculty of choosing, the concept is present throughout the text in the form of choosing, willing, and commanding. Deuteronomy 30 verse 19. I have set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Therefore choose life. Joshua 24 verse 15. Choose this day whom you will serve. Revelation 22 verse 17. And let the one who is thirsty come. Let the one who desires take the water of life without price. 3 Perspectives from John MacArthur and Wes Hall. The debate over free will is one of the biggest in church history, often framed as Calvinism versus Arminianism. John MacArthur, the Reformed view. MacArthur argues that while humans make real choices, our will is not truly free, in a neutral sense, because it is enslaved to sin. He often cites John 8 verse 34. Everyone who practices sin is a slave to sin, and argues that a person only chooses God because God first changed their heart. Wes Hall, the historical/apologetic view, often points out that the Bible presents a both/and scenario. The Bible holds humans fully responsible for their choices, implying a will that makes decisions, while simultaneously asserting God's absolute sovereignty over those choices.
Who still choose and make decisions, but we make them in the context of our prison of sin. And the only way we can get out of that prison is if God sets us free.
AI are the words chosen, predestined, called, dead in trespasses and sin, bondage to sin, a slave, O sin, I in the Bible. Yes, every one of those terms is found in the Bible. These phrases are actually the building blocks of what theologians call soteriology, the study of salvation. Theologians like John MacArthur often use these exact verses to explain the gospel of grace, the idea that humans are completely helpless in sin and require God to initiate salvation. 1. Human condition before salvation. These terms describe the state of every person before they encounter the grace of God. Dead in trespasses and sins. Asterisk Ephesians 2 verse 1. And you were dead in the trespasses and sins in which you once walked. Note, MacArthur famously explains this by saying a dead man cannot choose to live. He needs a resurrector. Slave of sin/bondage to sin. John 8 verse 34. Jesus answered them, Truly, truly, I say to you, everyone who practices sin is a slave to sin. Romans 6 verse 17. But thanks be to God, that you who were once slaves of sin have become obedient from the heart. Romans 7 verse 14 describes being sold under sin or in bondage. 2. God's action, the process of salvation. These terms describe how God brings a person out of that dead state. Chosen. Ephesians 1 verse 4. Even as he chosen us in him before the foundation of the world. 1 Peter 2 verse 9. But you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood. Predestined. Romans 8 verses 29 to 30. For those whom he foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his Son. Ephesians 1 verse 5. He predestined us for adoption to himself as sons through Jesus Christ. Called. Romans 8, verse 30. And those whom he predestined he also called. 2 Timothy 1, verse 9. Who saved us and called us to a holy calling, not because of our works. How they fit together. If you look at Romans 8, verses 28 to 30, often called the golden chain of redemption, you can see how these words link together in a single logic.
A note on dead in sin. Wes Huff often points out that in the original Greek, the word for dead, nekros, literally means a corpse. This is why many pastors argue that salvation isn't about self-help or making better choices. It's about a dead person being made alive, regeneration.